Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Casual Play Titanfall for the month of July 2015. In this week's video we'll be looking at the latest videos to come up this summer, and I just got stamped on. The latest videos to come up this summer, most of them are actually going to be very PC orientated, so hang on if you want to know a bit more about that. We'll also be talking about the latest Windows 10 news and how some of the reservations might not actually get you Windows 10 on release day. There's also the upcoming GTX 950 and 950 Ti. There's two new AOC FreeSync monitors which look pretty interesting, and then I'll be touching a little bit more on the Batman situation. I've done a separate video on the Batman situation, which was in fact called the Batman situation if you haven't already seen that. But there's just a few more things I would like to say, and I have no idea how that didn't kill him. If you do know, please let me know. So, what's coming up in the next few weeks? Well, I've noticed there have been a couple of comments, and I've kind of noticed it from the analytics, that you guys kind of prefer, and when I say kind of, you guys prefer PC videos to the sort of non-PC videos. The channel motto is PC's Gaming Technology, and that isn't going to change, but I do appreciate that there probably hasn't been as much PC related content as there should have been in the last few months. Now, a reason for that really is just because I haven't had as much stuff to actually look at. Of course, it's been very PC monitor centric, and I know a lot of you have been appreciative of that. It's quite good for the channel as well, because it means that it's products that people search for, and then obviously we can get more and more subscribers to the channel hopefully, and then more subscribers means the channel can then thus become better, and just that's a good loop like that. But I know that obviously if you subscribe to a channel because you want PC content, if you get a monitor video every couple of weeks, that's not really what you want. Now, obviously, this is a channel that aims to do more than just PCs, as I say, PC's Gaming Technology. And I really enjoy looking at technology and different things, but I appreciate that there probably hasn't been as much PC content as there maybe should have been. And that was actually a tree. That was not what I thought it was. Oh no, are we going to get there? Are we going to get there? No! Did I get him? Oh dear, I blew up. But the good news is that there is quite a lot of actual proper hardcore PC gaming stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. Now, I've been in chat with Kingston, and in the next coming days I should be able to get a chance to look at one of their new HyperX SSDs, and basically what I'm going to do there, because rather than just doing a pretty boring benchmark with SSDs to find out how good their theoretical read and write speeds are, I don't really think that's interesting. If you want that sort of review, I can do it, but it's probably done elsewhere. And to be honest, elsewhere I've had a lot more samples of SSDs to look at over the last few months and indeed years. So to be honest, you're probably better off going there if you just want raw numbers. What I am going to be doing though is look at a real world sort of situation and then see whether that situation could be improved with an SSD. And to elaborate on that, essentially the video is going to be the state of my PC at the moment, which is quite a lot of storage, but most of it used up, and how much benefit will you get in terms of frame rate and load times and just general stability by adding a large capacity SSD to your gaming PC and then having your games on there. So it's essentially going to be upgrading the PC by adding a 500GB SSD, moving a load of your favorite games to that SSD, and then seeing what the difference in load times and things like that is like, whether they're more stable, because of course Batman is one of the games that has been said to perform a lot better on an SSD because of the whole streaming from your hard drive sort of thing, that paging file business that shouldn't really be happening, but if it does happen, it's better to have an SSD. So that will actually look at whether a SSD is basically a sensible thing to get for a gamer's hard drive, because you can get a lot more capacity for your money if you don't go that way, but if the speed is going to help, then it probably makes sense. But more on that in the actual video. Aside from that, there should be a budget triple monitor setup guide, and by that I mean getting 3 nice quality AOC monitors, IPS 60Hz monitors, putting them in surround, and then bearing in mind this is going to cost you less than one Philips 40-inch 4K monitor. it could be that that's a very sensible option for a lot of people, and then that way you're getting a load of additional screen real estate for your money. Well, kind of. You're getting less resolution, but you are getting more physical space, and seeing what the experience is like there and whether it actually makes sense for people to do, and you won't have to worry about things like scaling, and you're still going to get a good experience because it's an IPS monitor. So that should be coming up in the next 2.5 weeks, hopefully. Probably going to be nearer 3, but I'll keep you posted on that one. Then we're also going to be, hopefully, if all things go to plan, be looking at the new Intel Skylake processor, the Skylake S, so the K Unlocked series. And then hopefully we're doing a real live build guide video. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work at the moment, whether it's going to be pre-recorded or I could even live stream it, but then that is going to get pretty difficult, so I haven't quite decided yet. But it's essentially going to be the first, hopefully, if all goes to plan, first PC Centric rig that actually gets built, gets benched, and that should be pretty exciting to see. So fingers crossed that will go through as planned, but we will have to wait and hear from some PR guys. Some of them are on board, and then we've just got to wait for confirmation on the other guys. So hopefully that will go well. And then I've got that the GTX 950 and 950 Ti should release very soon. I think actually that as I've been filming this, there's been some more news released regarding them, so I might be a little bit out of date. But what I've heard anyway is that they're going to be in 2 gig and 4 gig variants, and essentially the thing is here, it definitely kind of makes sense to go for the 4 gig, but if they don't have SLI, you're probably not going to have enough power to utilize that 4 gig anyway. But when you look at games like Batman, which use a load of VRAM, it probably does make sense to go for 4. The GTX 950 and 950 Ti are of course the best sort of entry level. Well, I say the best, it depends what AMD you've got, but they are aimed at real performance per dollar or performance per pound. And it's always pretty good to see some new cards that the mainstream audience will actually be able to get behind. And you know, if you upgrade your rig from something like a 550 or a 650, you should see some real benefits. And of course, they're really low powered as well, so they're not going to cost you much money. Not that power consumption is really ever going to cost you much money. It works out really cheap power, so it's not really a big concern. The next thing on the list is AOC's new FreeSync monitors, the AOC G2460PF, and then the AOC G2770PF. And then these are respectively 1080p monitors, 24 and 27 inch in size. Both of them have AMD FreeSync. Both of them are 144 Hz TN panels. And here's the news really. I got in contact with AOC to get some more details, and specifically about the actual refresh rate that FreeSync will work out. And they told me, quote, 30 to 160 Hz. 30 to 160 Hz. So I'm assuming that it's going to be 30 to 144 Hz because the monitor is locked at 144 Hz. I'm not sure why they told me 30 to 160. But that's pretty good because it'd be better if it was something like 25 Hz. But as long as you can keep your frame rate above 30, then that essentially means that you're never going to see, if it works flawlessly anyway, you're never going to see any tearing or anything like that, which is pretty cool. And the other cool thing is that the monitors are about £230 or just under £300 for the 27-inch version. And literally, granted it's not an IPS monitor, but if you want a dedicated gaming monitor and you don't want to spend too much money on it, then this is really, really enticing. And I think it's also going to sell a lot of AMD graphics cards. I mean, if I was going to set up either my first ever gaming PC, or if I was going to set up like a secondary gaming PC for whatever reason, then definitely it would make a lot of sense to go this way. I mean, it's actually pretty cool because G-Sync has been adding a load of expense to monitors for quite a while. AMD FreeSync hasn't really quite hit the spot just yet because the range that FreeSync has been functional in hasn't been as large as G-Sync, hasn't worked as well as G-Sync. But AOC could be onto a real winner here, so I'm definitely try and get some in for review. I won't do that obviously until I've actually got an AMD graphics card to test it with, because that would be pretty pointless. I would say no, to be honest, if I didn't have a AMD graphics card, because the whole point is FreeSync, so you need to test out the FreeSync. But I think that should be pretty exciting, and if you are in the market for a new monitor and you don't want to spend much money on it, this could be something to look at for sure if you want to get into adaptive frame rate. I'm really bad at this. I really am bad at this. So yeah, go and check those out. Like I said, the model names are the G2460PF and the G2770PF. And then lastly, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the Batman situation. Still playing through it. Haven't finished it yet. Been playing maybe an average of about an hour a day, maybe slightly more if you include weekends. And here's the thing, I find it pretty playable. There's definitely more and more of those texture leakage situations happening as you get further into the game, because you get into a bit of the city that is kind of more dense, and I definitely have noticed it more. And I've definitely noticed that the frame rate has dropped more because of course it's more dense, but I've still been managing to play it at pretty much a firm 30, and it's not really the way I wanted to play it, but like I say, it is doable. And I've seen this game now sort of insanely cheap. You can get it for about £12. I've seen it in places, and you know, third-party key e-tailers, which is pretty impressive. And it's just such a shame really, because I really wanted to get a review out, you know, and just be able to say how good this game is, because I've loved Batman, and then the series has just been absolutely incredible, and it just is a series that I've just absolutely loved and I've been replaying, and I just haven't been able to do that, which has been a shame. But hopefully it won't be too much longer before we get a decent PC sort of fix. But if you do want to play it, you know, you can just about do it as long as you don't mind playing it at 30, and I know that people have been managing to run it at 60, especially if it's not a constant 60. But it's doable if you want. But if, like I said, if you haven't bought it and you're not completely set on playing it as soon as possible, then yeah, well, it's still not really worth doing. And I think that has been this week's Casual Play. Brought you all the news really. If you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments section below. Still interested in doing like a Q&A, even be like a live stream if that's something you'd be interested in. Let me know in the comments section below, and I can set that up. But other than that, let me know, are you happy that there's going to be a bit more PC stuff, or do you like just the general technology and gaming stuff as well? Obviously there aren't really any game releases coming out in the next few weeks or months, so that will probably take a back seat, but hopefully that should be more than made up for with the additional PC content. So thank you so much for watching this video. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Likewise, if you didn't enjoy it for whatever reason, then let me know by leaving a dislike. And then kill, yes, double kill. Was it double kill? Probably, maybe, yes, no, yes. And then, yeah, leave a comment as well. And hit me up on @PC Centric on Twitter if you have any questions, because it's by far the best place to get in contact with me, because I can see and reply to your comments a lot easier. You have no idea how much a nightmare YouTube comments can be, because you get a notification to say, oh, this person's commented, and then it takes you about 10 minutes to actually find the comment, and then you lose the comment again, and then some people don't actually have reply on, so you can't even reply, and then it's frustrating. This could all be avoided if you could hit me up on @PC Centric on Twitter, because then it can just be done quite easily. So thank you so much for watching this video, as always, and I will see you in the next video.